Welcome back to Explorando Infinitum, where we dive into the mysteries that keep us questioning reality. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on our deep dives into the unknown. Today we're exploring one of the most unsettling, mysterious phenomena that many people have encountered: shadow people. Have you ever caught a glimpse of a figure moving in the corner of your eye, only to look and find no one there, something dark, elusive, and often accompanied by a feeling of dread? This eerie experience is shared by countless individuals across the globe, and yet we still don't have a clear explanation for it. Are these shadowy figures supernatural, or can science explain them? Could they be projections of our own subconscious, or something else entirely? Stay with me as we explore every angle of the shadow people mystery. One of the most common scientific explanations for shadow people involves a phenomenon called sleep paralysis. Imagine waking up fully aware but unable to move a single muscle. Your body is frozen, but your mind is wide awake. And that's when many people report seeing shadowy figures looming over them, or even feeling a presence pressing down on their chest. Sleep paralysis happens when the brain wakes up before the body does, while you're still in the REM stage of sleep. During REM sleep, your body is in a state of paralysis to prevent you from acting out your dreams. But when this paralysis lingers after waking, you experience an intense sense of fear, often accompanied by hallucinations. These hallucinations, whether visual, auditory, or tactile, are sometimes experienced as dark figures, often described as shadow people. Dr. Stanley Krippner, a respected psychologist and sleep expert, argues that sleep paralysis can trigger vivid, often terrifying hallucinations. People report the sensation of a dark figure standing over them, watching or even threatening them. This could explain why shadow people often appear during the night, a time when we are most likely to experience sleep paralysis. Even though sleep paralysis is a well-documented phenomenon, it doesn't fully account for all shadow people experiences. After all, people have seen these figures in broad daylight or when they are wide awake. Could sleep paralysis be the only answer? Another scientific explanation that has gained traction is related to the way our vision works, particularly in low-light conditions. Our eyes, especially the peripheral vision, are highly attuned to motion. In the dark, however, they struggle to discern details, and the brain sometimes fills in the gaps. This phenomenon is called motion-induced blindness. When we're in a dark room, our peripheral vision becomes more active, constantly scanning for movement. If we catch a quick motion, maybe the shadow of a curtain shifting or the light playing off an object, the brain might misinterpret it as a shadowy figure, especially if it moves unexpectedly. Human peripheral vision is designed to detect movement but isn't as skilled at identifying fine details. When the lighting conditions are poor, our brains rely on past experiences, so we might see a figure, a shadow person, where there is none. This explains why so many reports of shadow people occur in dimly lit areas or at night, when our vision is naturally more vulnerable to these tricks of perception. Dr. Mark Blakarski, in his study published in the Cognitive Neuroscience Journal, explains that peripheral vision can be easily misled into seeing things that aren't there. The brain's tendency to interpret blurry shapes as figures could explain why so many people think they've seen shadow people in their periphery. Let's shift gears and look at this from a psychological perspective. Could shadow people be projections of our own subconscious? This idea ties into Carl Jung's concept of the shadow archetype, which refers to the darker, repressed aspects of the self that we try to keep hidden from others and sometimes from ourselves. Jung believed that the shadow represents those parts of our psyche that we deny or repress, our fears, desires, guilt, and anything we deem unacceptable. Sometimes when we face challenging emotional situations or trauma, these repressed aspects can manifest in our consciousness, and in extreme cases as physical representations like shadow people. Jung suggested that these figures, like shadow people, could be symbolic representations of unresolved emotions or suppressed fears, taking on a life of their own in our subconscious minds. They may appear in times of stress or emotional vulnerability, acting as reminders of what we've hidden away. Could these shadow people be our own fears, anxieties, or traumas coming to life, challenging us to face the parts of ourselves we prefer to ignore? For those who believe in the more metaphysical aspects of existence, shadow people might be tied to astral projection, the idea that our consciousness can leave our physical bodies and travel to different planes of reality. Astral projection practitioners often report encounters with shadow-like beings while in altered states of consciousness. These beings could be seen as guides, protectors, or even tricksters from other realms. Some believe these figures are not of our world, but instead come from parallel dimensions, watching us from afar. Dr. Robert Monroe, a pioneer in the study of out-of-body experiences, explores how some people encounter shadowy entities during their astral travels. But are these beings truly real, or are they manifestations of the subconscious mind as the spirit journeys beyond the body? Another interesting theory suggests that shadow people are energy vampires, beings that feed off our emotional or psychic energy. This theory posits that when we're feeling vulnerable, emotionally drained, or fearful, we become more susceptible to these shadowy entities. Some believe that shadow people don't just appear to frighten us. They are actively siphoning off our life force, thriving on negative emotions like fear and despair. But is this idea more than just metaphysical musings, or is it our mind interpreting the effects of stress and exhaustion? Dr. Judith Orloff, a psychiatrist and energy healer, discusses how psychic vampires, whether real or metaphorical, can drain us emotionally. She suggests that when we're energetically compromised, we become more vulnerable to psychic attacks or the sense of being drained by external forces, such as shadow people. Then there's the most mysterious explanation. Could shadow people be spirits or entities from other dimensions? This theory posits that these figures aren't merely illusions, but actual beings who interact with our world from beyond the veil. Many paranormal researchers believe that shadow people are connected to the spirit world or may even be travelers from parallel universes. These entities might be trying to make contact, but their physical form is so alien to us that we perceive them as dark and threatening. Some investigators, like David Paulides, author of the Missing 411 series, suggest that shadow people may be related to the strange disappearances of people in the wilderness, possibly linked to unknown otherworldly forces. Whether they are psychological projections, beings from another dimension, or a manifestation of our fears, the mystery of shadow people remains one of the most perplexing phenomena we've ever encountered. It seems that there's no single answer, and perhaps that's what makes this mystery so captivating. Every theory offers a glimpse into the unknown, but none provide a concrete explanation. So, what do you think? Could shadow people be more than just figments of our imagination, or are they something deeper, beings from realms beyond our comprehension? I want to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and share your personal experiences with shadow people, or let us know your theory. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Explorando Infinitum for more deep dives into the strange, the mysterious and the unexplained. And, as always, purge Explorando Infinitum, for in every question lies the spark of discovery.